Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What's up guys, Danielle here, neutralsupport.net, and I'm going to tell you what the best multi-tool is for a mechanic to carry on the trail. I don't know about any of you all, but when I ride, I feel kind of like a bike paramedic. So being a bike mechanic, if I run into somebody on the trail, I feel obligated to help them. So what was happening is in the beginning, I was a bike mechanic riding, trying to figure out what tools to carry so that when I found literally any poor soul on the trail, I could potentially help them. And I landed on a Crankbrothers M19. So I carried an M19 because it had the best chain tool and basically a tool for everything short of a 15mm wrench, which I added an adjustable wrench to my bag when I started to run into people on the greenway that had flat tires with bolt-on wheels. But the actual tools that I needed, I found that the M19 really did the best. So recently I went over to Dana Point for a bike conference. It was super cool. The guys at Crankbrothers are actually headquartered in Laguna. They took us on a ride. They showed us the area. It was awesome. If you ride from their office, you can get to some really cool trails. But I was talking to them about the multi-tools because on that trip I had actually packed an M17, threw it in my bag, got through TSA, didn't have any problems at all. Nobody asked me any questions about it. I found it was a cool tool to be able to travel with because it did so many things. At that point, they said, hey, have you seen the M20? I said, no. They're like, well, it's the M19 plus one. So they gave me one, which is good because I think that when I used my M17 to help out a person, I accidentally left it with them. So they got a free M17 and I got an M20 to replace it. So now I've been carrying this tool instead. I actually have traveled with it multiple times on a plane. I still have had no issues with that. Nobody asked me any questions. I'm sure that sometimes they'll probably take it out of your bag because they want to make sure it doesn't have a blade on it, but it doesn't have anything that's going to get it taken away from you. So here I sit at the airport with the M20. The M20 means it has 20 tools. The first thing that's apparent is it has this box. This box actually has bacon strips in it, or tire plugs if that's what you like to call them. So you can actually plug your tire, and the tool to do that is right over here. So it has a tire plug tool as well. So that makes it pretty useful if you get a nice big hole, you want to plug it. That's been kind of in vogue lately, having tire plugs. Whether they work or not, they do work sometimes in very specific cases. Like all Crankbrothers multi-tools, you have a good selection 2 to 8. So 2 over here, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. You have a flathead, 2 Phillips heads, and 2 Torx keys. So if we get those out of the way, they're nice and sturdy in here so you don't have to worry about them being too loose. You can put them in position and use them. So where this tool really shines is in the chain tool. You can actually remove this tire plug kit here. You don't have to ride with this. So if you don't want these with you, you don't have to take them. You can just take the tool. So this is the Crankbrothers chain tool. They've redesigned this pallet here to include more tools and to be a little larger to hold. So the tool itself has the pin attached. So you can see that the pin here, that would be your standard chain tool. So put the chain in, push the pin out. If we take this off, this piece is actually multiple tools. So we'll take a look at that. So if we look at this piece, it has a bunch of tools in it. So you have a 0, a 1, and a 2 for your spoke wrenches. This right here is actually a rotor truing tool. You have your 8mm, I believe, unlabeled, but I think this is an 8mm box wrench. And you have a valve core remover. So this piece in itself actually contains multiple tools, which is actually pretty neat. This whole thing actually passes through security. So like I said, I'm sitting in the airport now waiting for my plane.
Federal law requires wearing a mask at all times.
So for a long time, I was like, man, I love this tool. It has a nice chain tool on it. I wish that it had a quick link tool. Well, it does. It's right here. So if you pop your quick link up in the tooth there so that it's resting this way, you can actually put this piece right here. and pop the quick link open. And that's that. So you can just put a link out of a chain if you need to, but you can also get the quick link apart. And then you would hook it back together and use the brake to close it like you would normally do. But that's this nifty little pallet, and it, shoot, does everything.
There's no reason to become alarmed, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your flight.
So making a lofty claim like the best multi-tool for a bike mechanic to carry. I've carried a lot of multi-tools, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly this point, and I landed on the Crankbrothers tool over and over again because it seems to do everything that a multi-tool needs to do, does the most things of any multi-tool I've ever had, and it does them well enough that I don't have to worry about it breaking. It's a stout tool. The thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't integrate tire levers. I've never really been a fan of the chunky, flippy multi-tools that have tire levers on them. I feel like tire levers are a consumable part that occasionally breaks, so I don't really want them to be part of my tool. This M20, just being the future iteration of my favorite M19, is the best multi-tool for a mechanic to carry on the trail, to be able to do the most things the most efficiently. I truly believe that. I believed that before they gave me this tool, but I really appreciate the guys at Crankbrothers giving me this one, and I hope whoever has my M17 enjoys it. If you like this video or you disagree with me, it's totally cool. Tell me what your favorite multi-tool is as a mechanic to carry around. Feel free to comment below. You can like the channel, subscribe. That'll let you know every time that I put out a video like this, so you can tell me how I'm wrong and there's a better multi-tool for mechanics to carry, or you think multi-tools are super lame, and tell me exactly what you carry in your bag. Please. Head on over to neutralsupport.net. We've got some cool swag you can buy, t-shirts, aprons, hats, all kinds of stuff to help us eat. And as always, hope you guys have a good day.